Alright, here we go. This is a ranked 1v1 on Duel. In the upper left, we have the blue player, number 5 ranked Lord of Lords in the Black Ops Paladin. In the bottom right, we have the red player. It is number 7 ranked TheKrakken in the Pumpkin Saucer. Duel, such a classic face-off map, and one of the best choices for very highly skilled top-ranked players like Lord of Lords and Kraken. Saucer's going to be abusing ability to abduct neutrals and will gain a slight unit advantage lead due to that. Doesn't really look like he's going for more than the T-45 though, Kraken. There's a T-45 on this side, but choosing not to abduct that. Not going to go for any of the Seekers or the Stinger over there. And Lord of Lords going with Dillos versus the Longhorn of the Kraken. It's going to be a pretty big difference, especially due to the attack aura for Lord of Lords. The damage output basically per value of the army that he's going to be able to put out is going to be extremely high. So this is going to be likely an uphill battle for the Kraken. We shall see. Lord of Lords moving in. Both players taking their forward roughly at the same time. Lord of Lords grabbing it right about now. Santa hats and all, as it is the end of the year. Happy holidays to you. But actually the Kraken a little bit behind, not taking the close quite that quickly, and gonna get started on the mid fight a little bit late. Actually, Lord of Lords going down the side path and gonna, oh actually no, just gonna send the Dillos to kill the goalies and harass Kraken's Longhorn. Kraken with no AA is gonna be pretty hard to deal with the high health, high armor Paladin, especially with just Longhorn. No Death Ray, I would think. Yes, Abduct and Blink, whereas Lord of Lords is going Hammer and Attack. Pretty standard, I mean, optimal builds. I mean, standard doesn't mean lazy. Standard does not mean uncreative. Standard means optimal, essentially. And when it comes to, especially when it comes to map-specific approaches with abilities, you aren't really going to see too much variation in the high tier because you pretty much can't afford it. Lord of Lords grabbing the left side box. 2 minutes and 6 seconds on the clock right now. Kraken not going for the right side, but yeah, just going for the Longhorn repositioning, and Lord of Lords grabbing the second box as well. Mid actually significantly guarded still at 2 minutes into the game for a high tier 1v1. Honestly, these two are top 10 players. This is a top tier 1v1 if you want to really define it. Kraken pushing in to Lord of Lords formation. Okay, does stop. Gonna try to create a line right here. This will be very difficult for Lord of Lords to push around this V path, V-shaped path. Kraken gonna basically create a stand. This is one of the strangest fights I've ever seen on this map. I don't think I've ever seen a line here and a line here. A line here, kind of, but not facing this direction. A line here, kind of, but not at this angle. Usually it's this way or something like that, perpendicular to the sides of the land. Lord of Lords realizes how invulnerable he is at this point as the Paladin. Gets away, but barely. But I mean, that's basically a sign of skill and experience, knowing how to get away with a sliver of health, understanding how fast the opponent will be able to deal damage, and doesn't look like any units were killed by that butcher drop just now by Kraken, as the Dillos will deal with the butchers very quickly. Okay, Lord of Lords actually, okay, now that is the kind of the opposite of experience right there, taking tons of damage. I'm not really sure how. There's only one Seeker here. I gotta rewatch that because he kind of just took a ton of damage right when he landed. I'm not really sure how that happened. I guess all the units and plus the Gaddy plus the Seeker were firing at him all at once in the T-45, so I guess it was just a combination of everything that was there. Box number 2, or at least number 3 and 4 up. Lord of Lords gonna grab the first one, probably gonna be grabbing the second one, as Kraken is not really aware of it right now. But the artillery line, so this long drawn-out battle will obviously favor the Longhorn player. The Longhorn player will be able to sustain the damage, the splash damage from the artillery a little bit longer, will be easier to micro, and the Dillos with a low health pool will obviously fall victim a little bit quicker. Lord of Lords could probably use a shift in approach right now, continuing this battle. In my opinion, in my evaluation, will probably not pan out super well for Lord of Lords, but actually now he is splitting up, so that I would think is a good choice. Gonna start on the mid, gonna try to both hold the line and take mid at the same time. The generator for the Kraken is a great addition. Actually, Lord of Lords has one on the forward as well. 22 units on the field for the Kraken, 39 upkeep versus the 38 and 29 units on the field for Lord of Lords. Obviously going to be able to get more Dillos out on the field than Longhorn, but Lord of Lords now moving in does sense that he can actually take the mid, surround it, and possibly hold it, where Kraken probably can't push in from here. He has a couple of turrets, he has a lot of artillery, does try to jump around and stay alive, but Lord of Lords is not really going to have too much of a problem with that, it seems. It's funny, the red creeps did walk in. The one butcher gets dropped. Lord of Lords following Kraken in hopes to get the finish, but does not. Kraken retreating his buster. So that, yeah, that kind of led nowhere, that entire exchange, besides where it was obviously going to, where Lord of Lords is holding a mid. So now, what will Kraken decide to do? He is going to be at the disadvantage. He's going to be at the income disadvantage. If Lord of Lords can pump out a bunch of Dillos, he could probably swarm the meager amounts of units. Honestly, right now, he might be able to do it with the numbers. He does have a couple of healing units and AA here for, holding the line. But it's fine. He should be okay. He, even if he wanted to push in, the Dillo numbers are pretty ridiculous. And with the attack buff from the Paladin, I don't know, he might be able to just overwhelm the Kraken at this point. That's more of a timing thing. His window is probably closing, especially now that Kraken is repositioning his units, taking a different angle, now focusing toward mid. Kraken could easily push in to the side here. I mean, there's nothing here. It needs to scout, I would think, or like not necessarily needs to scout, but honestly, you can't underestimate the value of scouting. Kraken just gonna do a little bit of micro, gonna create a better angle over here against Lord of Lords' units, and actually Lord of Lords gonna go with the Dillo drops. Ooh, drops him here. This is great. One's going for this outpost. Oh, that is a great split. So Kraken's gonna try to deal with this. Did he sense? No. He didn't realize that they're going for a fort, but he does drop the one Longhorn. What is Lord of Lords doing in response? Is going to push out with the Dillos, going to throw the hammer like crazy. Even if he dies here, that might even be worth it, because all of Kraken's units are basically getting completely obliterated. The Butcher drops go down, but it is a little bit too late, I think. The Saucer Death Ray is actually purchased here. Lord of Lords getting finished off, but I think that's probably a good trade for him. Actually, Kraken gonna get a decent amount of Dillos killed over here with the Death Ray with no mech presence. But yeah, that was basically Kraken's entire army. He's at 16 upkeep, 10 units on the field versus 38 and 28 of Lord of Lords. Doesn't kill too many more Dillos, and did lose about 10% of fort health, so 10 to 15%. So, but the Butchers get dropped and able to clean up the rest of the Dillos. Lord of Lords not prioritizing bringing the Dillos back and saving them. Could easily get this neutralized over here. Probably wants to focus on the neutralized rather than the Seeker. The Seeker's not really that valuable. But oh my god, did push these units down to this bottom. Wow, what great play from number 5 ranked player, Lord of Lords. Gonna get the neutralize here, most likely. Well, actually, no, there's not too many ground attacking units. There's only a few Dillos left. 2 creeps are still up. Kraken might be able to hold this hilariously enough, because if he finishes off all the Dillos, there's nothing left but, like, look at all these ratchets. There are 6 ratchets, and this is a result of the overcommitment of the artillery war by Lord of Lords. If a few more of these were Dillos, they would have been able to get the neutralization, most likely, and at this point, Kraken would have basically no hope in this game with 2 outposts, or actually technically 3 outposts down from the mid. From the mid to the forward to the close, that would have been 3 outposts. That would have been a 3 outpost. Actually, technically, a 5 outpost swing. But Lord of Lords getting finished off by Kraken here, and all of his ratchets have been finished off. This game is evening up strangely right now. 16 to 13 units on the field, 18 to 16 upkeep, so it's extremely even at this point. Kraken gonna be able to finish off the rest of these Dillos with the Butchers in assist. And so now Lord of Lords has basically nothing. If Kraken can get this neutralized on mid using that creep spawn ability, that would be humongous. Does not get, okay, does now have the forward back under his control. The neutralize would be humongous, but okay, the box gets grabbed. Other box has not been grabbed yet. That is the 8-minute box, actually, which is hilarious, because it's been on the field for 1:45. Will Kraken check to see if the other one is there? He does definitely need, or, you know, it would help him tremendously to be able to get the extra credits at this point. He's still technically behind, even though he has evened it out, like, a lot by a wide margin, and he closed that wide margin that Lord of Lords created with that dual push. Beautiful moves by Lord of Lords, but the Kraken taking full advantage of the kill there, and now gonna go for the cheese. Will he be able to get this neutralized? Probably, as he has the 4 level 3 creeps and the creep spawn, which is 2 level 3 creeps and 2 level 4 creeps. Does easily grab it, drops a goalie in defense, has creeps to hold it, and drops a 2nd and 3rd Goliath, holding this outpost for damn sure. Lord of Lords needs to make a move, and needs to make a move now. He did, actually, okay, while he was being cheesed, he did push this forward outpost, but who will take it? I do sense base race coming on, honestly, because, okay, Lord of Lords is gonna see this, and he's gonna go, uh-oh, okay, I better push now. So now, he's gonna move over here, gonna start to move his units out, but Kraken is already knocking at his front door with 3 Goliaths. 3 Goliaths is huge, and look how fast they are doing damage. These will take quite a long time to get to Kraken's fort, and Kraken needs to just drop, reposition, do damage as fast as he possibly can. Lord of Lords needs to body block, and body block as evenly as he possibly can. This hammer is not gonna kill those goalies fast enough, not even close. So he needs to block, and hope that he can survive long enough for his units to reach the fort and do enough damage to get the finish. They are doing a little bit of damage now. The Dillos are there. The goalies are right on their tail, but the Lord of Lords still doing a good amount, or sorry, the Kraken doing a good amount of damage on the blue fort. This is going to be pretty close, but I do think Kraken is going to be able to take it. And another creep spawn just to be the final nail in the coffin. The Kraken taking the game over the higher ranked player, Lord of Lords. But wow, what a duel game that was. That was one of the most unique duel games I have ever seen. I don't even know how to frame that. They didn't go for mid. Like, I've never seen both players skip mid. Not skip mid, but like but neither of them focused mid. It's so strange, especially 2 players as, you know, skilled as Lord of Lords and Kraken. Lord of Lords went for the goalies and then tried to go down the side. Kraken saw that he was approaching that way, and instead of trying to speed grab mid away from Lord of Lords, decided, no, I'm not gonna let this guy pass. I'm gonna put my Longhorn line up, and honestly, even though he made that stand, as we saw, it eventually failed. Lord of Lords did a couple of amazing moves, you know, doing a drop to distract for his push-in. Kraken responded to it well, but he still lost basically his own army, his whole army. But he was able to get the kill off of that, basically even the score, clearing the rest of the Dillos that Lord of Lords had there at the mid, and then doing a great defense of Lord of Lords' second side push down to Kraken's close, which was mostly composed of supplementary units and not tanks. I mean, Lord of Lords could have also, honestly, in that case, in that scenario, I would have liked to see something like supplementary light units being sent there, because light units are especially talented and efficient at neutralizing the post. And if he got that neutralized, he might have been able to take this game right then and there. But due to a combination of not neutralizing the post and dying, the respawn time was critical. Kraken was able to finish off everything over there, basically evened up the game, did a quick sneaky cheese, and basically the turning point was committing before Lord of Lords. Because if Lord of Lords, instead of sending to the forward, sent to fort, this game would be, right now the pumpkin saucer would not be dancing. It would be the dude with the shield. But yeah, wow, what a crazy freaking game. Great submission. Appreciate the submission by Kraken. Whew. If you are an active player and you want to be involved in the AirMech Power Ranking, contact me or another ranked player that is active. We'll get you on the Discord. We'll get you in the voting. We will put your name in the vote. And let's bring it back. This is RUI, and that is game. See you next time.